Hi, welcome back to Higher Thoughts. I'm Whitney, and thank you for watching today. Today's video topic is put some respect on your soul. Now, I am going to be looking at some notes because I feel like today's message is important and I really don't want to miss the things that came to me. And I want to share this message in all sincerity. Let's make this a discussion. If you have something you want to add to what I'm saying, please go ahead and put them in the comments below. And let's get into it. So, why this video is called Put Some Respect on Your Soul is because I don't think that we value our souls as much as we should. We don't see day to day in our lives how important our soul is and why we are actually even here. So I'm going to look down on my notes here or there. I hope that doesn't distract you, but let's get into it. So, the soul and money are of no comparison. There is no monetary value that will ever equate to the value of your soul. Again, there is no monetary value that will ever equate to the value of your soul. Money might as well be like ashes when it's compared to your soul. And when you think about it like that, that means you're already abundant. If you figure no amount of money can equate to the value of my soul, I have a soul, so that means I'm already rich. I'm already abundant. Your soul is the life force within you. Your soul is your individual expression, and your soul has an experience or experiences that it wants to fulfill in this lifetime. Your soul is completely unique to you. And so we need to start looking at that in terms of how we move about our life, in terms of the choices and the decisions that we make. Is your soul at the forefront of your life? Do you know how your soul is communicating to you? A lot of times, the ego and the soul are at odds with each other. The ego is concerned about external perception, external validation, fitting in, while the soul is like, hey, I just like this thing. I want to experience this thing. I want to express myself in this way without regard to how it is being perceived or if it's being validated by anyone else within society. Now, don't get me wrong, the ego is important. The ego is to protect us. The ego is to make sure that we don't go all the way off the edge of the cliff. But a lot of times, the ego forgets who's in charge. The soul, that is what is connecting us to a higher plane of existence. The ego, it goes back to nothing once we leave this earthly plane. The ego specifically is for this earthly physical plane. The soul goes beyond this physical plane. So when we're done here and our bodies are done here, so is the ego. The soul is what carries on beyond this plane. So what happens with your soul and how you are experiencing life and how you are expressing your life in this lifetime, in this incarnation of you in this present moment, time, and space, is to be recognized and valued and also taken seriously. A lot of times when we ignore the prompts of the soul over and over and over and over again, the soul has a fit. And that fit might show up as physical and mental illness, or the body just slowing itself down. And you may ask, well, how do I understand the prompts of the soul? How do I know what my soul wants? For one, you have to listen to your body, which I mentioned in the previous video. You have to listen to your body. You feel your stomach getting tight when you're doing something you know you don't really want to do. You feel your chest getting tight when you go in a direction that you really don't want to go into. That's your soul telling you, that's not for me. That's not what I want. A lot of times also, your soul will bring something up in you. You'll get excited about something, right? On the initial thought of a thing or the initial exposure of a thing, you'll get excited about it. Like, oh, I really like this. I really want to go this way. I really want to do this. I really want to be with this person, or I really want to pursue this thing or this career or whatever it is. And then right behind that, the ego goes, well, what are other people going to think if you do this? What is your family going to think if you do this? How are people going to perceive you if you do this? That's the ego coming in to squash what your soul wanted. That voice that doubts every little thing that your heart lit up about or got excited about and dampened it, that's the ego dampening the soul. Because why? The ego really cares about how it looks externally, how it is perceived, if it will be validated, if it will be celebrated. The ego doesn't want people to be like, why are they doing that? Don't they know they're going to look crazy if they do that? Why are they putting themselves out there like this? Aren't they concerned how that's going to look if they do X, Y, and Z? Aren't they concerned if they decide to be with this particular person, how people are going to view them? Don't they feel like people's view of their value will go down if they decide to leave this thing or this particular situation that gives a certain amount of security for this thing over here that's kind of an unknown? That is what the ego does with the soul. That initial excitement, that initial fire lit within you, that initial thought and idea that gives you all this energy, that is your soul. And the more you keep letting the ego dampen that fire down, dampen that fire down, dampen that fire down, dampen that fire down, the soul feels like you're betraying it. The soul's like, wait a minute. I took on a body with this person so that I could express myself a particular way and so that I could experience life in a particular way. And I'm going to repeat that again. The soul took on a body. The soul took on a body. When you look at it like that, your whole perception of what is important and what is not important changes. I honestly think a lot of times when people have their midlife crisis, it's because they spent so much of their life allowing the ego to dampen the fire of the soul. And finally, when they get to a particular age and there are less days in front of them than there are behind them, they freak out. They freak out. Oh my God, I wanted to do this. I never did it because I was concerned what people were going to think about me about that. Oh, I wanted to be over here in this area, but I never did it because I was too concerned how my family was going to perceive it. I wanted to, whatever it is, but you let the ego talk you out of it. Then you get to this age when you're like, damn, I don't have as much days ahead of me as I did behind me. And then they start scrambling. And then they do outrageous things. Like, getting that motorcycle that is very dangerous. Nothing against the motorcycles as long as you're safe with it. But if they do something that's out of character for how they had been living, or they decide, I'm leaving my family, again, if that's the choice for you to make, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you should or should not do. But again, it's something that's out of character. It's a big jolt to the life that they already created. And so what if it was like we just don't get to that point because every time we feel that fire lit in within us, that fire of excitement, that fire of joy, that fire of curiosity, we just go ahead and go with it. And then going with it, dropping the outcomes, dropping this expected outcome. Oh, if I finally pursue my singing career, I'm going to be this big superstar. Maybe that's not the outcome that the soul wants. Maybe the soul just wants to experience pursuing music and how that feels and the joy that comes from that and how you express yourself doing music and singing or playing an instrument or whatever it is. It could be anything. You may wanted to have been a visual artist. You may have wanted to been a writer. You may have wanted to work in finance. Whatever it is, I mean, the soul's expression is limitless for each and every individual, unique person. When are you going to put some respect on your soul? What your soul wants, what your soul desires, what your soul is calling for. When are you going to allow your soul to take the driver's seat over the ego, over societal programming, over external validation and approval? So that you can live a life that you genuinely feel good about, good with, excited about, feel fulfilled in. Don't you and your soul deserve that? And what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for all your ducks to be lined up in a row? The soul don't care about that. Are you waiting for when you feel like you're good enough to be on the big stage? The soul don't care about that. And drop all your expected outcomes from following your passion or following something that lights you up. Drop the expectation of the outcome. Let the outcome or the expectation that you have be, I'm just going to experience this because this is what's going to light me up on the inside. This is what's going to make my life feel full and wonderful and good. This is what's going to allow me to be at peace. I honestly do not think that we were always supposed to be at war within ourselves, between the ego and between the soul. The ego is there to protect us, to be a guide in some kind of way, but it was never supposed to supersede or override the pulling and the calling of the soul. I would like for everyone to take inventory around what their soul actually truly wants. And if their current life is reflective of what their soul wants and desires, or if it is not, and finding out what little tweaks can I do bit by bit to make my life more aligned with what my soul is really calling and desiring for me to express and experience. In this particular incarnation that we're in, your individual incarnation on this earthly plane, it will not be here forever. So your soul wanted to experience something specific, or not just something, but some things. It could be multiple things your soul wanted to experience, but it wanted to experience it as you. As you. With the way that you look, with your race, with your socioeconomic background, with your faith and beliefs, with your unique sets of features and characteristics. It wanted to express a particular set of things through you. So you don't have to feel bad about yourself. Oh, I would like to do this, but I'm too heavy. I would like to do this, but I don't have enough money. I would like to go here, but nobody I've ever known has ever done it before. So what? I would like to do this, but no one my race has ever done it. Like, all of these excuses, nonsense. Your soul wanted to experience and express in the way that it wanted to through you. So put some respect on you as well. All right, I'm gonna look at my notes real quick, make sure I didn't forget anything. I think that's everything. I think that's everything. What does your soul want? How does your soul want to express itself? What does your soul want to experience? Move in that direction. Don't be careless and reckless and all of this, right? Don't blow up your life, but bit by bit, how can you move in the direction of your soul? You only have a limited amount of time here in this physical incarnation that you are currently in. How can you begin to live your life in a way that your soul is leading? How can you silence the ego when it tries to override the flame within your soul? How can you silence societal and external expectations, programs, external validation? How can you silence those things so you can live more of a soul-led life? Baby, that's why you're here. That's why you're here. And whatever your soul's expression is, someone somewhere is going to benefit from that. And they are going to be grateful to you for that, because that's going to light something up within their soul. It's going to spark something within that they didn't realize that they had a desire for as well. We're all waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. Let's go. Put some respect on that soul. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to try and put a video out once a week, or maybe a couple of videos every week. But this feels good to me. I want to stick with this. I want to stay here. I want to share with you. And again, let's make this an open discussion. Share some of your thoughts about what I'm talking about in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to be in tune with what I'm putting out, and also the things that I'll be offering down the line. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm glad that you're here with me. Thank you.